Check on your friends, check on the people you're supposed to care about and the people you claim to love and the people you claim to look out for. Check on them. And I mean, like, really, 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 really check on them. Like, really check on them and make sure they're okay. Don't wait until you see that they're dead or something like that, or they're missing, or you haven't heard from them to look out for them. Check on them, like, right now. I just feel so strong. I do. I feel so strong. Like, I survived that. Wow. Wow. Hey guys, so I'm at work and I'm having like a shitty day, and it's nothing that happened at work. It's not work related whatsoever. I'm just like, I started out having a bad day this morning. I really did. I woke up having a rough time and I just tried to push through it and didn't say anything about it. Like, even though you guys see me talk about like really personal things on here, I don't like I'm prepared for it. Like, when I make a video about something personal, I'm prepared for it. But when something personal happens to me, I don't film it like in the moment when it's happening. Not really. Not when it's like depressing. So I just want to say, check on your family, check on your friends. People always think all the time that I'm fine and that I'm strong and that like I'm the go-to person for everything. And I just feel like sometimes, like, it's not like, not my friends, like not you Jasmine, not you Richard, not you Tempest, I'm not talking about you guys. But I just feel like people that like I talk to on a regular basis every single day, like, don't consider anything about me personally that I could be going through at all. Like, everyone just always thinks that I'm, you know, Connie's so happy-go-lucky, she's so bubbly, and that she's over-dramatic about the most insignificant things. People don't really think that I actually go through anything when I really actually do. And I struggle so much trying to, like, valorize my pain and suffering from anything that it, like, I feel like sometimes the marker is missed. People react to my reaction about the mistreatment, about, you know, not feeling like I'm getting what I deserve, not feeling like I'm getting the attention or the consideration that I deserve from so many people. They will place blame on my reaction to that neglect and totally forget about the fact that I am in fact not getting what I need. I just feel like sometimes you can really even sit here and be suffering, like literally, obviously going through something, and some of the people that are literally around you every single day will completely not even ask you if you're okay, completely, because they don't care. Like, guys, if somebody shows you that they don't care about something like that you're going through, don't drop hints. They don't give a shit. Dropping hints is only going to hurt your feelings, because once you make it known and you've done everything to make it known and to voice that, you know, voice what's going on, voice your concerns, voice your needs, and somebody doesn't just naturally go, you know what, let me check on her, let me make sure she's okay, let me make sure she's not losing her mind. When somebody completely disregards that, it just makes you feel like I could be dying. I'm not dying, obviously, but like, my best friend that passed away, Morgan, his anniversary is coming up. I think it's like 4 years now. I know that sounds bad to not know for sure. It's just that when Morgan passed, it was really, really, really hard. I had to get on medication. Like, the week after he passed, I had to get on medication. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. It was like the first time that I had lost somebody that close to me, that young in age, from something that wasn't like, he wasn't shot, it wasn't gang violence. He died of respiratory suppression. He stopped breathing in his sleep. And it was caused by him having sleep apnea. And he didn't have his BiPAP machine on because he happened to doze off to sleep unexpectedly and never woke back up. And I remember that his uncle had passed away and I wasn't there, and I didn't even know that it happened, but I wasn't even like checking up on him, and he was my best friend. And I didn't even know that his uncle passed, and he was so mad at me because he hung up the phone on me when he was talking to me. He was so upset because, like, what kind of person doesn't know what's going on with your best friend? And when he passed, when Morgan passed, I remember his fiance, she said to me that she thought that maybe it was just a really bad nightmare, it was a bad dream, that he hadn't really passed, and that maybe he just was playing a prank to see who really cared about him, because he did feel like nobody cared about him, that no one would be considerate enough about anything that he was going through, because I thought he was so strong and that he didn't need anything, and I was wrong. I was wrong. And it breaks my heart that I contributed to somebody feeling so alone when they've always been there for me. No matter what I needed, he was there. And I feel like it might be my karma that I feel the same exact way. And I wasn't intentionally inconsiderate. I was just thinking about all the wrong things and chasing after guys and trying to make them happy. And I wasn't thinking about the things that were really important to me at the time. And I just say this to say that, like, your strong friends, your independent friends, the people that are there that look out for you, they're always there, that always have your back no matter what. Don't think that because we smile and because you see us moving mountains that we don't have issues and we don't have mental health issues, and that we don't need someone to talk to, and we don't need someone to listen to us. We need someone too. And I don't think that we should have to go pay a therapist to vent. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to start crying my eyes out like that. It's just that, like, I know there are some people that are probably like, well, this is not like the place for that. Like, if you have a problem, then you should go talk to somebody. Don't put your business all in there. But you know what, at the same exact time, the same kind of people that are saying things like that are like the culprits, and that are known to be the kind of person that doesn't care to listen to anything that you're going through. Like, brushes it off like, well, that's your problem. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that, like, I feel like it's a constant shit show. Just like, there's just so many different contributing factors to this video and the way that I feel, and even just talking about it. Like, you cry, you're a crybaby, you're emotional, you're overdramatic. You don't show any kind of emotion, you're disrespectful, you're a bitch, you're stuck up, you think that you're better than everybody else. I don't think that there's anything unusual. I'm a human. I'm a human being. I'm a human. And it just is really, really hard, because sometimes it's just that I'm not trying to scare anybody, and I'm not like making this video for attention. I just hope that there's somebody that sees it, that has anything, that can say something in response. Like, I understand what you're going through, even though I know what it's like to be like invisible to the rest of the world around you, because they just think that you're so invincible, and you're not. And you can't show that weakness to your kids, because it'll terrify them, because you're the only person that's there to take care of them, and they rely solely on you. So you can't even have a breakdown. Like, I've literally been in such dark times before where I thought I was going to need to be 302'd, because I thought I was about to seriously have a breakdown and snap. And I first saw myself breaking everything that I could get my hands on in my own house before. Like, it was like 5 years ago, but I was seriously losing my mind. And I was surrounded by plenty of people that were supposed to care about me. And again, it's not Richard or Jasmine. You guys have nothing to do with this. You guys have always been there for me. But I was losing my mind right in front of people that were supposed to care about me. And it wasn't Morgan. And I was too prideful to tell, my childhood friends about it, because I didn't want them to know that I was doing bad. And I was around people that would have been faster to, like, gloat and tell everyone that I had the breakdown and that I was, you know, doing bad, versus healthy individuals who put an intervention together to help me. I was losing everything. Like, I was working at a job that gave me a promotion, and when they gave me this promotion, they gave me a $3 raise. Well, it was really a role change. It wasn't a promotion. It was just a role change. It was just more money and $3 an hour more than what I was making, which at the time it was $21.50, but they were giving me $3 more an hour to do a different shift. And I began training for that shift and getting that pay. And then after literally almost 90 days, corporate caught wind of the increase and saw that several other nurses were also getting the same pay increase, and that they decided that they hadn't actually approved it. They decided that they had never approved this decision to give us all this extra money, or this decision to even give us these different positions. They decided that the acuity of our patients were too high for LPNs to maintain. So they took away our raise and our positions. A lot of nurses left, and I stayed because I still needed an income to take care of my children. And unfortunately, exactly when this happened, there was a redetermination with my childcare, because I was getting subsidized childcare. And when they did my redetermination, right before my position at my job got changed, they deemed me I no longer qualified to get subsidized childcare. So childcare, I would have to pay the full price. And the full price for the private daycare center my kids went to was $500 a week. And unfortunately, I had no one to watch my children besides this daycare. And daycares don't just take openings every other day. And my kids are 4 years apart. So even if there was a facility that had an opening for my youngest, that didn't mean they had the opening availability for my oldest. So I got slammed with those bills. They billed me, and eventually I had to change my kids to another daycare, but it took a long time to find it, and I got lucky with finding an availability. But in the meantime that all this was happening, I fell behind on my rent because my priority was making sure the daycare was paid. My kids needed to be watched. I had to go to my job, but I couldn't afford it. And I couldn't afford my rent and afford daycare. I was paying literally $2,000 a month. And I fell behind on my rent at my apartment that I had lived in for 5 whole years, and I got evicted. And I saw it coming because I'm sitting here doing the math that I'm just like, there's not enough money here, period. Like, this isn't a matter of rationing, a matter of budgeting. The money just doesn't exist. It's not here. Like, I'm not living, I guess I am basically, like, I wouldn't even say I was living beyond my means. Childcare went up drastically. And unfortunately, I had to wait 6 more months before I could actually go reapply for subsidized childcare. So I ended up actually getting evicted, and me and my children were actually homeless. We were homeless for about 72 hours. And it wasn't a secret. Now, Morgan did not know because I was just so mortified. Jasmine and Richard didn't know until like after the fact because I was so mortified. But there were people that definitely knew, that were physically like eye to eye with me, that definitely knew it was all going down, definitely knew it was happening. And I was losing my mind because everything that I had built was crumbling around me, and there was nothing to stop it from falling apart. Like, nothing mattered. Nothing mattered. And I thought I felt so unfit. Like, I felt unfit as a parent. And I felt like I did everything that I possibly could have. And it was like, this is just unfair. Like, what the hell? Like, what? What the hell? And when I was calling it was horrible. When I was calling shelters, they were like, you make too much money to qualify to even come. Like, I was denied places because of the amount of money I made. I made too much money to be considered, like in poverty, but I didn't make enough money to pay $2,000 a month in childcare costs. And because, I'm not like from the area, I'm not from Jersey, I didn't know anything about like Jersey really. And everything was about also convenience. I needed to make sure that everything was conveniently located for me to get my kids there and then get to my job, because it was only me. It's always only been me. I don't care who the heck you guys have seen on my Instagram, who I'm dating. It's only been me. It's only been me. It's always only been me. which is my own fault for not knowing my own worth and dealing with dumbasses. But the obligation, and yes, I call it an obligation to give a damn about your family and your friends, about anybody that you think or you claim to be of value and importance to you. If you care about them, show them. Prove it. Prove it. You talking what you would have done, what you should have done, what you could have done. Prove it. Nobody wants to hear that no more. We want to see it with our own eyes. When you care about somebody, you don't let them just, you don't let certain things happen to them. And it was my own bed. I did not make it. It was the cards that I was dealt, and it was a learning experience for me. And thank God that I had a coworker that was so selfless to let me and my children stay with her for a month until I was able to get another apartment, which God bless me with another apartment literally 30 days later. And my job actually raised the money. My job and an old coworker, together with my job and an old coworker of mine, another old coworker of mine at the rehab that I was working at that screwed me over with the position that they took from me. They raised the money for my security deposit for me and my children to have a place to live. And we did it within just enough time that none of my belongings, none of my furniture, none of my stuff was thrown out or put out. Like, I got really, really lucky, and God has blessed me. But the feeling, like, when I finally got into that apartment and I was still working the same job, I was now making $21.50 again, which is nickels. It's nickels. It's nickels. It's not real money. I'm sorry. It's not real money in Jersey when you're a single mom. It's not. And even $21.50 was actually too much money because for me to get any kind of help, because the only reason why I was getting subsidized daycare was because I was on maternity leave, and when Joshua was 3 months old and I put him into daycare, they were basing my income off of my maternity, my short-term disability income. That's what they were basing it off of, which was 66.6% of my regular annual income. Well, my, monthly, whatever. So even with my $21.50, that was too much money for me to even still get childcare. It still was too much. But I couldn't afford it anymore. But even I couldn't afford it anymore. And who's texting me? Go away. Nobody? These are all freaking from nobody? It's freaking like Constance, please claim your $1,000. I don't have $1,000 to claim. Please get away from me. But I remember clear as day a conversation that I had with somebody else, and I told them I was going over all of the bills, and I was just like, there's not enough money for me to even get groceries, and I don't get paid for another 2 weeks. Like, I've paid the rent and I've paid the babysitter, like, because we had to go to like an in-home daycare provider, and I was like, I paid the rent, I paid for the childcare. I have literally, I think I had $37 left to my name, $37, and this is coming from somebody who was able to take care of themselves and their children. Even though I had a little bit of assistance, I only got that assistance because I had literally, like, Joshua wasn't even a whole year old. I didn't even get that assistance long. It was just like literally like a hiccup in the road. I had a baby and they were helping out. But prior to that, I did everything for myself, like took care of everything. Like, my food stamps got cut off years ago. Like, I was self-sufficient. And to watch everything that I worked so hard for single-handedly by myself crumble in front of my face was like devastating, and I couldn't do it. Was like watching water run through your fingers. I couldn't do nothing to stop any of it. I was screwed. And it was so hard. And I remember like thinking to myself, like, I was telling somebody that the person told me that I would figure it out. And I was just like, you don't understand. When a person loses everything, and I still had my kids, I had my belongings, but like I was starting from rock bottom. I literally was put out. I had to go to court and everything. Like, the sheriffs came to knock on my door to serve me with this, you know, eviction notice. A place that I lived at for 5 whole years. Like, people were watching, you know what I mean? Like, everything, it was all gone. It was all just going away. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, the lights even got cut off. Being in the dark. Like, I started taking Z-Quil to sleep at night because my anxiety was so fucking bad that I couldn't sleep, and I got addicted to Z-Quil because I was such a wreck, and it stopped working, so I started taking more and more and more to try and sleep at night. And I put on this brave face every single day, like I'm so bubbly and happy and everything's fine, I'm okay, and I was not. And I was telling somebody every day what was wrong, and they just kept telling me, you're gonna be fine, you'll figure it out. And I'm just like, don't you see a bitch breaking in front of you? I need a fucking hug. I need a fucking intervention. I have thought literally outside of my imagination. I don't have the solution or answers. And obviously the solution was get another job, but I was just like, who's watching my fucking kids? How am I gonna do it? And I can't even remember how I figured it out. Oh, I got fired. I transferred to another location from my job, another branch, and I transferred so I could actually get the job back that I wanted, which was to work 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week, overnight, so I could get those $4 more. That's why I transferred. I transferred for the money, and then I got fired at the new location. They wrote me up once a week for 3 weeks straight and terminated me. It was a setup. I don't want to get into it. There's a whole entire story time that I'll make one day because it deserves it. It surely deserves it. It was, I mean, like, first things first, my first write-up was for my nose ring. My clinical supervisor had a nose ring in her own nose, and my first write-up was for my nose ring. This little thing, exact same nose ring. So I started wearing a bandit over my nose ring as soon as that happened. And that was just the beginning. They wanted me out of there, and it was like, because you transferred to another location, we have to make sure that you get, because obviously when you transfer to another location, they take some of the old staff to train the new staff, because you can't open a facility with just brand new employees. You gotta have people train it and get it all set up. So nursing is petty as fuck, and this is the reason why I don't work for a facility, because I can't get down with y'all politics. Like, you'll never catch me in a facility again, I swear. Not unless I'm a patient, and it'll be long before I let y'all take me to a facility to make me a patient for any reason. Take me home. So, but anyway, basically, like, it was on, like, it was just like I really thought, like, I mean, I was having moments where I was just like, this, like, it was impossible. It was impossible. I was like this close to being, like, to taking myself to a soup kitchen, and I'm just sitting here like, but I'm sitting here surrounded by people that I've done for and helped, and I'm really going through something really, really serious, and the ones that know don't care, because maybe they're waiting for some kind of magical solution. Maybe they think it's not as bad as what I'm saying it is. Like, I mean, I'm showing you guys this proof, these like, everything. What could I be lying about? You get what I'm saying? Like, what could I possibly be lying about? And just the feeling of, like, I mean, I survived that. I mean, I legit, like, on everything I love, I really felt like I wasn't even a good parent, because they were relying on me, and all I had was me, and all they had was me, and I couldn't fix the problem. Like, I mean, it got together, but, like, it was hard. It was real, real hard, and that stuck with me. Like, that time really, like, that experience really, really stuck with me. And that was the time where I went through work, and I worked through complete breakdowns. Like, I was so close to seriously just, like, passing out, and just, like, I was ready to emotionally shut down and just quit. I was just over it. It was a lot. It was a lot, and it was fall, and it was cold outside. And I remember that those 72 hours that we were, like, without a place to live, we were in my car in a playground. And it was just so emotionally hard, and I felt myself cracking and breaking. And that's how I feel right now, and it's not even like that. It's just, it's so much harder when you're breaking on display and everyone's just watching and nobody gives a shit until you fall apart. That's when they go, oh, I would have been there. No, you would not have. You're fake. You're a liar. You wouldn't have done anything. You would have been here. Please, y'all frauds, get away from me. I don't need any fake love. I don't need no more fake people in my life. That's why I cut so many people off, because of the fucking fakery, the fuckery. I can't deal with that shit anymore. Like, if you care about somebody, really care about them. Like, if you want to know how they're doing, really ask how they're doing. Don't just ask how you're doing because you just small talk. Like, really care about somebody. If somebody is there, the person that bails you out of jail, if you know one person that would bail you out of jail no matter what you've done, no matter what you went for, no matter what hour of the morning, night it is, that's the person that you should be checking on every single day, no matter what. And I don't mean like, hey, what you doing? You good? I mean like, hey, what are you doing? You want to sit down and talk? Just want to check in on you, make sure that you are actually okay, like you're cool. I know you say you're cool all the time, but I just want to know for sure, like, are you really good? And if you're not, like, what can I do to help? Like, I may not be able to solve all the problems, but what can I do to help? What can I do to help? I always say that to people, like, if you call me and you need money, if I have it right now, you got it. Don't worry about it. I might even tell you gotta wait till I get off work because I'm always working. Like, but don't worry, I got it. You need something, you stuck somewhere, I may not be able to get to you right now, but I can get to you eventually. Like, I'm never gonna, I don't just give up on people unless you really seriously did something to me. But I know that I'm really, really there for people. And if I'm not there and you can't reach me, it's because I'm at the same place doing the same thing, at my job, working at one of my jobs, or taking care of my kids, my 2 kids. Like, but no matter, I always look out for people. I do. And if I haven't looked out for you or you couldn't reach me, it's because I'm too busy doing something for somebody else, trying to look out for somebody else, because I don't want no one to know what it feels like to be like this. People, I don't want anyone to ever feel the way that I have felt in my life before, in a room surrounded by people and completely alone. That's why I do what I do, like, for the people that I do for. Like, and you guys know who you are. I do what I do for you guys because I don't want anybody, because I know what it feels like for people to not care about you at all. I know what it feels like, and it's hard, it sucks, and I'm gonna be fine. It's just, I shouldn't have had to make this video for the internet. I shouldn't have had to make this video in hopes to reach out to somebody out there that might be thinking or feeling the way that I feel, so we can relate. But I had to, because obviously the circle is that small, or I'm around enough people that don't care enough that much. This wasn't about me being homeless before. This wasn't about me, you know, this was about me, but this was just about check on your friends, check on the people you're supposed to care about, and the people you claim to love, and the people you claim to look out for. Check on them. And I mean, like, really, 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 really check on them. Like, really check on them and make sure they're okay. Don't wait until you see that they're dead or something like that, or they're missing, or you haven't heard from them, to look out for them. Check on them, like, right now, because they check on you every single day. And they give a shit and they care like nobody else does. Like, check on your people. Check on them. I just feel so strong. I do. I feel so strong. Like, I survived that. Wow. Wow.